Started off just leaving school, and there was a couple of me mates who lived in the same street was interested in Lonnie Donegan, you know, the old skiffle days. That would be the late 50s. And I started work in 1960 after leaving school, and we learnt a few chords, some Lonnie Donegan stuff, 3-chord stuff, and later on we developed into when the Shadows, you know, became famous, learning some instrumentals. Now some of the lads lost interest then, you know, they didn't carry on the guitar interest. So I had to look a bit further afield then, you know, with other musicians who were interested in the same thing. So I ended up going a bit further afield, Lee, Wigan, and I met various other lads, musicians, who wanted to do the same. And I eventually bought a bass guitar, little Burns Sonic I think it was, the small one. And one of my friends who was in the first band I was with, he did a singing spot, I think he stood in. I think it was at the New Pro in Ashton. He just got up for one song, and subsequently they asked him could he join the group, because they enjoyed it that much. Of course, with being Morris's mate from a while back, he said, come and have a look at our group. And just as it happened, the bass player wasn't so happy with, it was just right really, the timing, because the bass player at the time wasn't too good, you know, he wanted to get out. So they asked me would I join in, and I felt like I was flying home that day. That was me big...
Was that when you watched TV?
That was my first sort of big break in the whole music industry, that. Yeah. And later on we was playing all the local clubs, pubs, dance halls. What places were there? The Formby Hall at Atherton, Keggo Key at Atherton, that was another little tiny nightclub. And then Morris decided he wanted to pack in and get married. That's Morris the singer. So I was looking round then, and we was told about this lad, Jimmy Billsbury. He said, where does he live? Anyway, we found out that he lived at Culcheth. And we tracked him down. I think it was near the George and Dragon pub, I think it was. I think one of his relatives lived there. His dad, father-in-law, I think.
Mum and Dad,
his mum and dad.
Yeah.
And we asked him, you know, would you come and, you know, would you come and have a go, you know, with our band? We like want a singer. He said, yeah, I'll come and have a rehearsal with you. And it went really good. And we changed the name then from the Sabres to the Hammers. And Jimmy was our lead singer then, Jimmy Billsbury. And we had another couple of personnel changes. The lead guitarist, Jerry Blackman, he left, he wanted to carry on with his courtship, he left to get married. And we got a lad from Burnley called Peter Shoesmith, and he became the lead guitarist. And that was when we got this. Jimmy was quite good at songwriting, and we did this gig at the Garrick Club in Lee, and there was a compere called Roy Hastings, and I think he knew Jimmy slightly from, you know, over the years. I think he had it because he was playing with Ronnie's band, the Beat Boys. I think that was how he knew Jimmy well. And he asked us to do this demo disc, and he said there's this little place in Liverpool. Can't remember the name of the studio, but it was just one man, and he did us this demo disc. And the A side was Greedy Girl, and the other side was Long Long Time, which Jimmy wrote both of those songs. And we went back to Roy Hastings, and he said, I'll take this down to me publisher in London, Denmark Street. Anyway, Roy came back and he said he wants to meet you, you know, as a band. We all went down to Denmark Street to meet this this publisher, Mike Collier his name, and he offered us this song. He said, I've got this song here for you. He said, I've enjoyed listening to your demo disc. I've got this song here that I'd like you to try. There was a number called Excuse Me Baby, which was an American fellow who wrote it, a fellow called Artie Wayne. He says, take that back with you, have a rehearsal, and see how you get on with that. Anyway, a few weeks later we went down, did this, and he booked the Regent's Studios. I think it was near the Post Office Tower in London. There was a dancing couple of black guys. They had a dancing school there at the time. Was it the Clark? Something like that. And they had this recording studio in the same building, the Regent Sound Studio. We did this first take, Excuse Me Baby. And you know, he said, I've offered it to a couple of music companies, you know, record companies, and CBS has offered to give it a go. So CBS printed it, you know, and they put Jimmy's Greedy Girl on the B-side. It was a lovely song, that. Anyway, as time went on, we realised it was being played on Radio Caroline, which was one of the pirate ships at the time, and it was being played 8 times a day on Radio Caroline. And it finished up as the Caroline Sure Shots, they called it, and it went to #1 on Radio Caroline, and it made its way up the national charts, and the highest it got was number 44 in the national charts, which was absolute astounding for an unknown new group. Anyway, as time went on, we did 5 different singles. This was while I was with the band, 5 singles, and this album called Lit Up with the Magic Lanterns. Then we got this new lad came in called Alistair Beveridge. He was we needed a driver at the time, and he said, I'll join the band providing I can come in as a member of the band. And we all agreed to, you know, let him come in as the rhythm player plus vocalist, you know, harmonies. And went to a tour of Sweden. Went to Sweden for, I think it was a month. Then we went to this place in Hamburg called the Top 10 Club. Was there for a month.
I know that.
And we did a job in Belgium. This was a little tiny club in Ghent, a place called Ghent, called the Shark Club. Was there for about a week, I think. And in all, we had a good, you know, it was getting abroad. And we made a couple of television appearances with this, on the strength of this record doing to number 44. We met Cathy McGowan. I met Paul Jones, who was the singer with Manfred Mann. He was a gentleman. And Dave Berry, he was on the same show with his record.
He did every show that was going, Dave Berry.
Dave Berry, he was a gentleman, Ron, gentleman. So. Anyway, we went on, like say, came round to 1969, and I was getting quite strong with my religious beliefs then. And I told them that I wanted to be phased out, you know, this was like, it's 1969, and they got this other fellow, I think he was from Warrington, he had a bowler hat, Ozzy Osbourne his name was, but it wasn't the Ozzy Osbourne, the Ozzy Osbourne, his name was, just happened to be the same. And everybody confused him with that, said, oh, they've got Ozzy Osbourne in the band. It wasn't the Ozzy Osbourne. And I believe after I left, he went on for about a year, and then they replaced him with another bass player. I don't recall the names of them because I'd gone then. And
I know it. We've got some history on the change of out of it, and Jimmy recorded some most. Well, they think it was management that recorded stuff,
right?
Unknown to lads.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, this was after I'd left. I believe they went back to Germany. They did a I think it was another tour of Sweden. And then they had the record Shame Shame was released in America. I think it did quite well. And that was really the last I can remember of them, that run, you know, just that Jimmy had, this was like a few years later, Jimmy had joined the Les Humphries Singers.
Yeah.
And I think all the rest you know then after that.
Good on there, Ian.
All right.
I'd like you to thank you, pal, for all the fan club out there.
Just send your cheque to the